I mean, we were up there on the mountain with him that day, and we had to watch him do it for real.
There is nothing that is impossible for this man.
I'm a big fan of the fish tank stunt in episode 1. You know, that was a really incredible stunt. I remember Tom sort of telling me, we watched it and he was explaining the logistics of that stunt, you know.
When he's holding onto the side of the plane.
Benji, open the door! Yeah, okay.
I really asked him how all that went down and how dangerous it was. And when he described, they had to clean the runway with such precision because Tom said even a pebble that small, if it obviously caught him, it would be over for him. And so I think that was pretty impressive to me.
If you think about the one that he does in the first mission when he falls to the ground and, you know, almost hits the ground, that's harder than people think. You know, it's like, oh, what kind of stunt is that? But it's hard not to flinch, you know, like hit the ground. So that would be my most impressive.
I mean, I think the train's pretty cool in this movie. I think that that's kind of spectacular. And you really feel like you're in the carriages with them. I mean, that whole sequence is, I think, the best one that's ever been in a series.
But I will say this, the most dangerous one is the one coming in Dead Reckoning with the ramp jump.
I mean, we were up there on the mountain with him that day, and we had to watch him do it for real.
It was just incredible, you know, to watch in real life and then to watch it in a movie, you know? When you see him also skydive and tracking, I mean, I love skydiving, so I was like, I want to do that. It was, oh my God, so good.
Believe me, it was a pretty scary experience, you know. I say that as the guy not jumping off the cliff on the motorbike, but...
I trained for 5 months with the best stunt team in the world. It takes tremendous amount of focus and discipline and training before you go onto a set so that you can do these extraordinary stunts.
Normally when you're shooting an action sequence of this kind, you're hiding the fact that it's a stuntman doing the actual stunt. In Mission, the reverse is true. You are trying to put the camera in places to show that it's the actor who's actually doing it and to remain connected to the character.
I think in an age of artificiality, we live in an age where you can do anything with CGI, and CGI is a beautiful tool. It's wonderful that it's come along. I'm not decrying it in any way. But I think these days when we see people flying around and monsters, and it's great, but it's artificial, and we know it's artificial. And so we relax a little bit. But when Tom Cruise jumps off a cliff on a motorbike, that relaxation disappears, because he did that. He risked his life. And in the back of our head, we're not just thinking, Ethan Hunt is jumping off a cliff on a motorbike. We're thinking, Tom Cruise is jumping off a cliff on a motorbike. And that means something, and he understands that.
I don't accept that.
I've seen him convince the government to let us actors fly in F-18s. I've seen him jump off of a freaking cliff in Norway, ride on top of a train, drift in Rome in small alleyways with one hand handcuffed. There is nothing that is impossible for this man.